Today is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, a day after the NFL Hall of Fame voting came out, and they snubbed the guy who they say is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, the best coach of all time. Well, I mean, yeah, according to the Super Bowls he won. He did what was you're supposed to do. He won the most Super Bowls, the most playoff games, and he was now the third most winningest coach in regular season history. Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's probably going to get in. And people are saying stuff like, it's because of that, it's because of that, it's because of cheating, it's because of this. I have to say one thing here is this. Whatever your personal emotions in any situation comes about, which I have to in certain things in life, I just want to say this to people. Just be reasonable. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a piece of shit. And what I mean by that is don't be a trash bag. Is if somebody you had a bad relationship with the end and they hated each other, don't be like, it wasn't fun the first couple of years. It wasn't this the first couple of the person, we never had a good time. You can't be an idiot. Don't be stupid and dumb. Get up there and say, yes, it didn't end well. It wasn't good. Yes, Bill Belichick's job was not to be your friend in the media. It wasn't. He should have been. He was not a nice guy to anybody. I don't know about anybody. To most people in the media, he was not nice with questions. He was very concise. He was very not even to the point. Didn't explain anything. He was just like, "What's your question? I don't understand." On our way to Cincinnati, we're on our whatever. That what was those things? It was like, it's not nice. But his job was to win football games for the New England Patriots. That was his only job. That was his main part of his job. And yes, if he wasn't good for a little bit at the beginning of his career, there was a short leash for guys like that. For sure. But he won. He won 6 Super Bowls. And they keep talking about all these stupid things. And I'm going to say this something crazy right now. All the great teams and dynasties, they all get complained about because they win. No one complains about the Oakland Raiders in the 2000s. No one complains about the Raiders and even in the 90s. They complain about the dirty Raiders in the 80s because they were winning. No one complains because the Raiders were, Al Davis was always Al Davis when they were bad. But when they were winning, he was annoying. They were dirty, the Raiders. I'm not going to say they were a clean team, but they were dirty. But Al Davis is in the Hall of Fame, by the way. New England Patriots, this is what the society's come to. But after his career, this guy was a jerk. This guy cheated. Well, the Indianapolis Colts were caught cheating. No one dated, and it was alleged. But nobody gave him a punishment. You know why? Because they weren't winning. They weren't beating the Patriots. And who accused them every time? The lowly Jets. My lowly Jets accused them of crap. Because the snitch who left there, and then all of a sudden all these coaches, whatever. And Don Shula's upset because this dude is beating all his records saying, Belichick. Belichick is a trash. It's trash. It's loserous. It doesn't give the guy credit for winning. Marshall Faulk, you lost the game. Don't blame the Patriots for losing that game. Because they were playing by the rules by hitting you behind the line of scrimmage. Don't cry about that game. You lost. You could cry. You could regret that game. It's a sad game for you. I understand that. And we keep saying this, what without Brady? I don't care without Brady. The guy was the head coach of 6 Super Bowls. And after that stupid game, the Spygate, did you know that they made 6 Super Bowls after that? They were undefeated right after that happened. And then the Deflategate. And then you're going to sit there and tell me that you're putting Robert Kraft, so you're not going to put Tom Brady first ballot? Do you know what this is? This is what it is. This is a fireball offense because this is a straight telling you that vegetable is not a vegetable and a fruit's not a fruit. You're telling me that apple's a vegetable? That's what you're doing. Because when you talk about the Hall of Fame, they should be the Hall of Fame. Bill Belichick is the Hall of Fame. And this is what it is. This is our society. We talk about cheaters, and then we no, when winners come about, they say they cheated. They didn't cheat. They were doing the same thing everybody else was doing. And you sit there and cry like a baby. You're a baby. Because Tony Saragosa said when it's 1 of 15 teams that they were doing the same thing. But they sucked. So no one cares. It's the same thing in every sport. I'm not going to go through every sport, but I'm going to go through football. And I'm going through America right now. Look at all you guys in American sports. On America right now. This is what's our downfall of this country. When winners win, we sit there and get up and say they won because of the tactic. The world is doing that right now. Because there's a country in the Middle East that's fighting wars and they keep kicking other people's asses. And everybody said they're only winning because of this. They're not winning because of that, because they're better than everyone else. And you don't like that. And you can't stand that. All of you. Don't say because of this or that. No, because they're better. And then when they have a bad day, you say, it was time. And then when they come back, you say there was a problem. There's the problem with the world right now, and America is at the forefront of this. We don't like winners. And every time a team wins, like the Houston Astros, we say they cheated. And yes, it wasn't clean, but the New York Yankees were accused of the same crap. Not exactly the same way, but they didn't. But they didn't win this World Series. And you know what? And you know what this thing is? The Astros were a team out of nowhere being good. I was a part of it going crazy too. I'm on record. Crying about the Astros. But the Astros were better. They were better than our Yankees. They were better than everyone else. And you sat there and you cried. And you said, it's not fair. It's not fair because they're better. No one cares. Chicago White Sox back in the day were caught cheating. I believe with Tony La Russa's teams back in the day, they weren't winning big. No one cares. And that's the thing about this whole thing about emotions. They were better than everyone else. This guy was the face with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady for 20 years in this league. And you're sitting there and you telling me he wasn't the league because he was in a scandal? Get out of here. I don't want to hear it anymore. And the guy that was behind it, allegedly, from the reports, says in an interview, I wasn't behind it, I didn't conspire, but I'm 95% sure. So he conspired. Because he said I voted for it, but I'm 99.5% sure I didn't conspire against this guy. That guy was a crybaby. Because all the press defense of his receivers, because the Patriots knew the game, you kept losing to them. You lost and you lost and you lost. Indianapolis Colts, not Peyton Manning, he was part of it, kept losing to them. And then years later, when you were part of the organization as a consultant role, I believe, I know he was not the GM. The same Colts, the Irsay family, put the Deflategate out there, PSI crap. And they lost the game 45-7. Can you believe that? 45-7. You were never able to beat that team. Never. You could never beat the Patriots. And that's why you accuse them of cheating every time. Because every time a team lost, and every time a team became big, but in this, we prop up losers. It wasn't the losers' fault that they didn't go to the gym. It wasn't the losers' fault that they didn't work hard. It was the winners' fault because they cheated. And everybody says, but they did cheat. No, everybody did the same crap. All this PSI stuff, football, every quarterback feels the stuff. We hate Tom Brady. I didn't like him either because he kept winning and it sucked. It's just annoying. The guy keeps beating everybody when he's 23 and he's 43. It just sucks that he keeps beating everybody. Bill Belichick keeps winning. His quarterback doesn't play well in the Super Bowl, and he comes up with his brainiac idea against little tech nerds like Sean McVay. Beginning of his career, he was the little nerd going against older coaches. Mike Martz and that high-flying offense, greatest show on turf. And then years later against the Rams, different thing. The little tech nerd, he can't stop the little tech nerd. And he did. And you sit there and you make excuses why the guy keeps winning. Because he has this or that. It's just garbage. It's just trash. And you keep talking about what he did without the guy. It doesn't matter. It's 20 years. It's 9 Super Bowl appearances. What do you want from a guy? And this is what we are in society, all over the place. When you sit there and you talk about cheaters, you just have a problem with it because the other cheaters that did the same thing sucked. And I'm not going to go through every sport, but it's like that. It's like that, guys. You guys sit there and you start crying. And then you say, well, that guy didn't cheat. How do you know? And even if he didn't, what's your point? The other guys that did sucked. But I gave him a boost. No, you don't like it because he worked harder than you and he's better than you at life. It's the same thing with everything. Every single situation, not just sports. We love to prop the losers. It's not the poor people's fault they're poor at 35, 40 years old. What do you mean? They didn't study hard? I'll admit, I didn't study as hard as the guy that's big. I don't work as hard as the guy that's on top of the real estate chain. I don't. And that's why I'm not them. I'm not going to sit there and say it was daddy's money. It wasn't daddy's money. It was them. It was them who did it. They worked hard, not me. And that's why they're better. And you keep sitting there with everybody in life like a lazy butt. And you sit there and say, it's because that guy has privilege. No, not that guy has privilege because you suck. I suck. I don't got that. I'm not as big as the biggest YouTuber because I don't work as hard. And that's what you got to have to understand. The same thing right now with the society. This is a fireball offense. This is not a joke. This is really a fireball offense because this is not common sense. This is stupid. Bye. Have a great day.